I was a teacher at Denny since 1993. I've been attached to Sealth for a very long time. First of all, the whole entire building was remodeled, and the inclusion of the International Baccalaureate program has brought several students here who want to pursue a more rigorous curriculum. So I believe in what would be called the olden days, Sealth had a reputation that wasn't as academic, and now it is considered a highly academic and rigorous school. Chief Sealth is one of the most diverse schools in the city because it has approximately 1/4 white, 1/4 Latino, 1/4 African American, and 1/4 Asian students in here, as well as a very high population of Native American students. That, to me, is the soul and heart of Chief Sealth High School. It is the diversity that we have.
My 4 years at Sealth were kind of difficult, and I'm just glad that I'm graduating this year. I'm going on to the next level to become a college level football player, so yeah.
So one of the differences I notice about Chief Sealth and other schools is not only the diversity, but the International Baccalaureate program. The International Baccalaureate program is a global program that is worldwide taught to students everywhere and has a much more global focus. It also focuses on the way people think, and I believe doing the International Baccalaureate program actually teaches students to think in a much higher level way than I have noticed in the advanced placement programs that other schools in the city use.
I like the diversity at Sealth, and I enjoy all the different types of people that go here, and I feel like there's a lot of things that you can do at Sealth that make it fun in a good learning environment.
My good experience, football, just straight football, and my good experience at Sealth is that I'm glad that I'm also known at the school because a lot of people thought I wasn't going to go to play the upper level in college, I'm just glad that I get the chance to play in a higher level and show people that you can.
One of the reasons that I invest in Chief Sealth High School and that I invest in it is that I'm sending my own children here. That, to me, says that I believe it is the best high school in the city. One aspect that makes Sealth different as well is the fact that we celebrate the diversity we have with several assemblies a year, such as the Indigenous Peoples Assembly, the Black Student Union Assembly, and the Latino Heritage Assembly. We really know how to embrace each other's cultures and celebrate them, and that is the global perspective that Chief Sealth brings that I feel no other school does as well as we do.
For me, I went through a lot. My grandma had cancer and all that, and it was really hard for me to focus in school too. But my grandma wanted me to keep focusing on my sport in school, so that made me realize that I need to work hard for what I do, So I just kept pushing, I kept grinding in classroom on and off. My first year was bad, I wasn't focused. I was distracted a lot. Then my second year, I kind of improved, but I still wasn't there. But I give it like junior year. That's really made me focus because let's say that I basically moved distance from other people so I can focus on myself and be ready to graduate. In my senior year, I'm doing good right now. I'm finna graduate and just, go on in life.
I started teaching at Denny in 1992, in a sense by accident. But the second that I started teaching those students, I knew I had found my home. Flash forward to 2010, I knew I always wanted to stay with the children that live in Southwest Seattle. And the opportunity came that there was an opening to teach high school. Since I had spent most of my career teaching 8th grade, I decided it was time for a new challenge for me for the second half of my career. And I have never once regretted teaching at Chief Sealth.
The football program is great. We got, my guy, Coach Russian, my head coach, Coach Rodriguez. They're good coaches, and they want us to succeed in life and do better as a person on and off the field. Going to college, try to make it to the league, But if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try to become a sports analyst because that's a plan B for me right now. Because I love analyzing other players and talking about football. Because I was a basketball player. I never played football, so basically basketball was my first sport. But I decided that when I started watching with football, I just felt like it would be interesting to me because I love to take out my anger on other people, opponents and stuff. And like I just feel like it was my most passionate sport, so that's why I kept on rolling. That's why I kept on going. The reason why I didn't want to play basketball no more, 'cause I broke my leg in basketball.
I leave for school at like 8:30, and then I get home, depending on the day, at like 9. Weigh all of like your factors. Like I would do like a pro and con. Like don't do it because all your friends are doing it, because it won't help you in the end. You want to do it based off like what credits or classes you want to take, whether you want to go to school in-state, out-of-state, stuff like that.
Things I don't like about Sealth are probably the sports. I feel like there's a low number of people that come and participate in all the teams. That's why a lot of our teams are really small. And usually we don't go to like championships or state. The social atmosphere at Sealth is probably pretty chill. I don't think most people probably get along well with each other, and we kind of stick to our own groups, and we have our own social groups that we kind of stick to. So, but it's not like we all hate each other. It's just kind of like, yeah.
For me, I feel like I know most of these teachers because I either had them last year or the year before, so it's really easy for me to ask questions and understand them as teachers. So yeah, that's a big one for me. I know running start, like, I think a full year is fit into like a semester or quarter or something. So you're technically like getting more stuff done in a shorter amount of time, which is like one thing I would like better, so yeah.
I ran for ASB because I wanted to have more of a social, more friends, or like make more friends and know more people around school. And since I was a freshman, I wanted to know more people who were older. And it was also a good opportunity to get more involved with high school and like plan events and dances and stuff. I'd say that the atmosphere at Sealth is pretty inclusive. We're a pretty diverse school, so we are really open on having inclusion on all ethnicities and races, and we work on gender equality. And I'd say the only thing that needs a little bit of work is like the LGBT community. I feel like they're not as represented as well as the other groups that we work on.
I guess prioritize and have good time management. I do a couple sports at the same time while taking IB, so I really have to like, if I'm not feeling it one night, then I can't go because I need to work on IB stuff. Or if my body's not just shutting down, I don't want to like overwork myself.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I always feel safe at school, and I'm never like scared. I think the classes that I've taken this year and last year, I've learned a ton, and I'm learning a new language, Chinese, and so I think I've been learning a lot from that too. My favorite memory at school was probably one of the pep rallies we went to. Each of like the ASB classes had to create a dance, and the freshmen didn't really have a dance, but then these boys just went up and they started dancing, and then one of them just broke into the splits, and I thought that was really funny. And then that same day we were in art class, and he was also in my art class, and so Miss A did the splits, and I thought that was really funny.
Definitely take notes and ask questions, because when you're at home, like you can't ask the teacher because they're obviously not there. And then the more behind you get, it's not like freshman or sophomore year where you can come back. It's really hard to, because the classes are obviously a higher level. So yeah.
I don't think you do. So aim high. Try to hang out with the kids that you think are smart. Hang out with people that you want to be like, because you are good enough and you can be whatever you dream you can be, but you have to believe it first.